It is a battle of two AFC contenders, but if you look at the odds, they do not reflect that. BetOnline likes the Patriots by 6.5 over the Tennessee Titans, in part because the Titans come in incredibly banged up. Joining me now from Locked On Titans, Tyler Rowland and Ty. This is a seemingly even matchup if these teams are healthy. They are not. And from that standpoint, especially when it comes to Ryan Tannehill, who has had his worst games without Derrick Henry, I'm concerned that the Titans just don't have enough dudes in this game.
Yeah, and I'm with you. And yes, the Titans' offense has taken a downtick without Derrick Henry. That's going to be the case. But as I've kind of said since that happened, that's going to make the Titans' offense miss the explosive runs. And they're not getting those home run runs from Derrick Henry. But the problem is, I said this today on Twitter, and the Titans lose their ability to be one of the best offenses in the NFL when they lose Derrick Henry. They lose their ability to be an NFL offense at all when they lose A.J. Brown. That's, no Julio, no A.J., no Derrick Henry. This is a practice squad offense right now. I mean, they signed Golden Tate off his couch, and he's going to have to play this week. I mean, Ryan Tannehill threw an interception last week because a practice squad wide receiver, Dez Fitzpatrick, just ran the wrong route. So the Titans are in a really bad spot when it comes to injuries, a record-setting number of injuries for an entire NFL season only through 11 weeks. So I gotta agree with Vegas on this one. I think the Patriots definitely should be the favorite and definitely do have a great chance to win this game at home.
Here is the flip side of that to me. Since week 4, the Titans are 7th in EPA per play on defense. This defense has taken an enormous leap forward, and they're doing it because Jeffrey Simmons, Harold Landry, they are dominating. Danico Autry, they are dominating up front. Is that the path, do you think, to say, okay, Mac Jones, you're not going to beat us. We're going to control the run game, and our front, they are going to take over this game?
Yeah, I mean, in a sense, it does have to be. What I'm really looking for in this game is tendency breaks. So the Patriots have been playing about 60-70% zone on defense, but the way that everybody attacks the Titans' offense is by playing tight man coverage. So will Bill Belichick go away from what's been so successful during this hot run for the Patriots to do what's best against the Titans? That'll be interesting. And then on the flip side, looking at that Titans offense, the Titans offense has played a lot more 11 personnel this year with 3 wide receivers, whereas last year they were the tight end most heavy offense in the NFL under Arthur Smith, running 13 personnel with 3 tight ends, 12 personnel with 2 tight ends. Well, the Patriots have been running a ton of 5 and 6 defensive backs looks because Adrian Phillips, Kyle Duggar, those guys, the physicality there, they're basically like linebackers. So will the Titans go back to what they had done in the last 2 seasons and play heavy tight end personnel with 2 and 3 tight ends at all time to try to get New England out of what they do best on defense? That's really what I'm looking for. The Patriots are best with 5 or 6 defensive backs. They're best in zone coverage. Well, the Titans are going to try to put them in non-5 and 6 defensive back situations with heavy tight ends, and the Titans are worse against man coverage. So you're already asking the Patriots to do things that they have not that they can't have success, but they've been more successful in this hot streak doing the other things as compared to what is best against the Titans. So will the Titans break tendency from this season and go back to the heavy tight end packages to get New England's defense out of those heavy DB personnels? And will the Patriots go with man coverage over zone coverage, which has proved to work better against the Titans? That's going to be super interesting to see.
Ty, as we were talking, I pulled up the Titans depth chart and I looked at their receiver group. After A.J. Brown, can you just let the listeners know the names of the guys we're talking about? Because I'm looking at this going, I think I recognize like 1.5 of these dudes.
Yeah, so Nick Westbrook-Akina right now. See, we talk about AJ and Julio, but Marcus Johnson, who the Titans' 3rd wide receiver, he's out for the rest of the season with a hamstring now. Cam Batson, who's been with the team for a little bit, slot, quick, change of direction guy. He tore his ACL earlier in the year. So right now, the Titans have Nick Westbrook-Akina, who is an undrafted free agent out of Indiana, who's really a special teams gunner and a blocking specialist. They have him as their number 1 wide receiver. Number 2, they're going to have Dez Fitzpatrick, the 4th-round rookie out of Louisville, who was just awful in training camp and preseason, got cut as a fourth round. The Titans traded 3 picks to get up and get Dez Fitzpatrick in the fourth round, even though Dane Brugler and PFF didn't even have him rated in their pre-draft guides. So the Titans made a big swing and miss there. He comes in, Dez Fitzpatrick catches a touchdown last week, but also, like I said, he's the wide receiver who ran the wrong route, and it turned into an interception for Ryan Tannehill. You can hear on the TV copy of last week's game, Tannehill going, Dez, do you got it? After he made an audible on a critical third down. Like, there is zero trust that this guy knows what he's doing out on the field. That's probably why a fourth-round rookie didn't make the roster and hasn't been called up until all these injuries. So there's their top three. They signed Golden Tate off his couch to try to come in and help. Maybe a small school undrafted guy like Mason Kinsey, who's like a Wes Welker type guy, can play in the slot. You guys know what kind of player I'm talking about when I say a Wes Welker, Danny Amendola type guy. So just get the visual if you need to. But either way, those are the guys that are going to be out there. Yes. Those are the guys that are going to be out there for the Titans. And it makes you wonder, Bill Belichick is famous for, we're going to shut down the top option on the offense. Well, he may get frazzled out by not having an option to need to shut down.